2 more poems left. They're both really upsetting. So if you need to go to the bathroom or not be here, now might be a good time. But if you stay, I'm glad you're staying, and we'll get through it together. Yeah, this next one I wrote about a year ago, and it's still very hard for me to do, but it speaks a lot to things that I'm going through still, and I think take a long time to go through. So, when you're 20 years old, your best friend will tell you that watching an addict collapse into themselves is like being on an airplane that's crashing. She'll say the first thing is remembering how to breathe normally, that you can't help anyone unless you get your own mask on first. And my brothers taught me how to swim by holding me underwater until I beat my way to the surface. When I finally gasped out my first breath of air, they said, breathe normally. You're fine. You needed to learn eventually. You could only tread water for so long, and when I was 16, when everyone around me seemed raised fist ready to smack me to the ground, my mother said, baby, sometimes we clench our fists not to fight, but because we have something we are terrified to let go of. You see, what your friend won't tell you is that when the plane starts going down, you will not want to keep breathing. You will not want to take in air without them. When the plane goes down, you realize you are a life vest with nothing left to wrap yourself around, and you can only tread water for so long. So when the tide comes, you will let yourself drift into pain pills, into whiskey, into sex with men who don't know your real name. You will call yourself plane crash. You will call yourself sinking. You will call yourself shrapnel. You will remember that drowning runs in your family. When you're 20 years old, you will learn that watching someone you love die slowly is not like a plane crash. It isn't anything that dramatic. It's a piñata at a birthday party. It's knowing they have been beaten so many times, it's no wonder they split open. It was only a matter of time before everything inside of their chest started pouring out. When you're 20 years old, you will learn that sometimes you fight with absolutely everything you have and lose. You'll find out that you don't get to write a pretty ending. That not everyone gets that cymbal crash closing curtain. Sometimes it doesn't end clean. Sometimes there's no firework finale. There's no plane crash shrapnel. It just ends in sinking. It just ends in silence. It just ends.